Yes. Mhm. This color of office, yeah. Mhm. Penal Code 521, yeah. Every person who commits any extortion under color of official right, in cases for which different punishment is not prescribed in this code, is guilty of a misdemeanor. Yes. Now, I'm going to be very excited to understand this color of office as it relates to the Children's Victims Bill of Rights. Yes. Now, if you're a police officer and you're guilty of a misdemeanor of refusing to enforce child abuse and child neglect laws, yes, and you're guilty of refusing to enforce children's victims' rights, yes, it's quite possible you're going to spend a little time in jail. Mhm. See, every person who commits any extortion under color of official right, yes. I talked to you about extortion, and now I'm talking to you about the extortion of refusing to acknowledge the Children's Bill of Rights would have given my sons the right to emancipate themselves and sue you. Yes. Would have given them the right to testify in court hearings about protections orders and quite possibly the dissolution of marriage. Yes. It would have given them rights that they did not have to experience the violence and have to witness all of the abuse that they've experienced. Now, these color of offices, yes. What governor of the state of Washington has been extorting the influence of the office to refuse to acknowledge the Children's Bill of Rights, Governor Jay Inslee? Now, I emailed your office, yes, and it's extortion for you to abuse your power and authority because you just will not enforce child abuse and child neglect laws, and you won't enforce the state of Washington's Child, yes, Victims Bill of Rights. Now, I know that I downloaded this just a moment. Okay. Let's read it together. Okay. My sons are going to have to explain for the rest of their lives why it was that their father was arrested. They were victimized as, well, 8 years old and younger. Yes. But they weren't because I didn't commit any domestic violence or child abuse. Yes. And then their father was put in jail on Guam for 10 days because his wife alleged domestic violence and child abuse. Now, I actually did 7 hours of parenting classes and my record was expunged. Yes. But for all of those that are mandatory reporters, you actually can be sued for the rights of child victims and witnesses. Boop. And under the color of your office, each and every governor of every state of the United States, for all of those oaths that said, with respect to child victims of sexual or violent crimes or child abuse, to have a crime victim advocate from a crime victim witness program or any other support person of the victims, yes, choosing present at any prosecutorial or defense interviews with the child victim. Poop. Now, the role of the crime victim advocate is to provide emotional support to the child victim and to promote the child's feelings of security and safety. Now, I don't know how secure and safe they could have felt, yes, considering their mother wasn't in court when you issued that protection order, considering that you used a forgery, the coercion of the ex officio superior court clerk, the extortion of the non ex officio superior court clerk, and then the arrest that they've had to experience and the victimization of having a non biological sister make fun of them. Well, your dad's crazy. He's crazy. He's crazy. He's crazy. Isn't that what you said? Well, I wasn't in Sequim, Washington. I wasn't in Brendan, Washington, and the arrest that took place at the Port Angeles Library. Why did that man get arrested? Why'd you arrest that man? To allow an advocate to make recommendations to prosecuting attorney about the ability of the child to cooperate with prosecution, the potential effect of the proceedings on the child. Now, well, you're abusing your color of office, Governor. And for every employee of the executive branch of every state of the United States that thinks that these rights of my sons, yes, that you can just put them in the newspaper, knowing that you could just decide that you're not going to enforce their rights, that you're not going to enforce the Bill of Rights, yes, that you're not going to enforce the right to sue you, that you're not going to do what the law says. Now, as their father, I want them to be wealthy. I think they should do some estate planning. And I know that for every one of you that happens to be in office, Sheriff, in each and every county of the state of Washington, because I emailed all of you, yes, each judge, I'm going to make sure to sue all of you, all of you, every one of you. Now, you're going to have to make a decision on whether or not you're going to enforce this child Bill of Rights. Yeah. Now, crime victim compensation, yes, is one of the pillars of victims' assistance. Oh. For thousands of crime victims each year, it serves as the primary means of financial aid. In the aftermath of the victimization of myself and my family, Executive Director of National Association of Crime Victims Compensation Boards. Could you get me all the employees of all those compensation boards? Yes. Now, the Victims of Crime Act. Mhm. This was something in 1984. Yes. Um, just so I understand these laws, because you're the attorney and you know what you're talking about. I'm just wanting to know how you would consider this not being victimized in a crime act. Yeah. To use forgery and fraud. Yeah. To issue a 10-year protection order. Yes. To have me arrested on my son Zachary's birthday. Pooch. And then to sit there every fucking day and say, well, the guy's crazy. That makes his sons crazy. It makes their kids crazy. Pooch. Now, I've been sober for 25 years. Yes. But they're all going to be alcoholics, aren't they? Pooch. My sons are going to be just as fucked up as I am right now.